Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the Atmos character of our world around us as we do in every video on this channel, and this time we will try to reconsider the conflict between two Slavic nations, I mean Russia and Poland. And this conflict, it's not always a kinetic war, but all the time it's war. Diplomatic, trade war, cultural war, psychological war. Actually, since one can say beginning of the 17th century, uh, actually 17th 18th turn of the 17th and 18th century AD, when the Russian Muscovy identity and later Russian identity was finally formed, this conflict exists more and more. And it never changes, even despite the fact that many regimes in Russia changed. Tsarist regime, Soviet regime, and now so-called, in quotation, democratic Russia regime, which is actually not red Russia, not white Russia, but sort of pink Russia, mixture of Tsarist regime, Soviet Union regime, mixture of steppe nations and their way of ruling, some traces of modernity, some not. Influence of Orthodox Christianity is again rebuilt within Russian society, but many things changed, but some things remain the same, and the hostility towards Polish state and nation remain the same, and it's still a very important part of Russian foreign policy. Why? In my opinion, the answer on this question is quite simple, because Russia wants to lead, at least to all Slavic nations. And the second largest Slavic nation that is completely formed after the Russian nation, because Ukrainian nation, it's not the case, it's not the nation, it's a collection of many people. The second largest Slavic nation that is finally formed for a long time, it's Polish nation, after the Russian nation in terms of numbers. But there is a big difference between Polish and Russia, because the nations from Lithuania, despite the fact they are not Slavic, but they have a lot of common heritage with us, Belarus and Ukraine, these nations actually don't have very well formed identity. And when Russia is strong, they uh, they tend to more lean to Russia politically. When Poland is strong, they tend to lean towards Polish direction. And we have to take into account that now Poland is politically and economically weak, but culturally, our culture is very much more attractive for these people than Russian one, because we are still a Slavic nation, Western Slavic but Slavic, so we are relatively close to these people from Lithuania, Belarus, and Ukraine, but we have this touch of the East, touch of the West, this taste of the West. They would really like to join. They would really like to be part of. Russia doesn't. That's why Russian geopoliticians know that they cannot allow Poland to grow, Polish influence to grow, because when it happens, they lose their influences in the Western countries towards their optics, Western countries that are crucial for their superpower position as a superpower. I mean Ukraine, Belarus, and Lithuania, especially Ukraine and Belarus. If they lose the access and the influence within these lands, they lose their superpower position, culturally, military, and geopolitically. They cannot allow for this. That's why good relations between Poland and Russia are never possible. And Russia does everything, together with Germany, but this is a different story, with Germany, to keep Poland weak and suppressed. When Poland is strong, Russia is weak. When Russia is strong, the best. When Poland is not independent, then Russia is strong without any problems, because no uh, there is no other potential cultural hegemon that could just drag these peoples from the territory of Ukraine, Belarus, and Lithuania towards the western direction, taking them away from Russia. And that's why the inclination of these nations would be much more towards Poland, because we have this touch of the Western world, but we are still Slavic, so culturally close to them. And we also have profound background and rich culture, a lot to offer to enrich these people. And for us, because they are close to us, it's also easy to connect with them and build one conglomerate that would be, because of our location and different interests, a great competitor to Russia. That's why Russia cannot allow Poland to grow. Simply. All the best. These are my considerations. What do you think? Please let me know below in the comments. All the best. Bye. Have a nice evening.